sense because I don't make sense to many people and to myself sometimes.
I got you. You have a really fascinating blueprint. There's a lot of creativity. So there's a lot of karma around family, communication, and there's actually really so much here around relationships as well.
Yes, there is. Like I've always been very spiritual, very intuitive, very empathic, almost like psychic-y since I was little.
Oh, no, you definitely are. 100%.
So, and I never understood what it was.
And we use the P word, psychic. I prefer intuitive. There's maybe a new buzzword that we could use, like spiritual something. I don't know. To me, psychic is a word where people are like, ugh, shady, slimy, fake. So I definitely don't wish to brand myself with the P word.
The girl that was the presenter sat across from me and looked at my chart. She's like, in relationships, you tend to see the best in people and you want to provide for them and help them get to where you can see they're going.
Yeah.
And she's like, you need to stop doing that. And I was like, you just changed my life because that's literally what I do because I do see that in people and I want to
see the potential.
Yeah. Because I can get them there because I know how to get there.
You can, but not at the expense of your own energy and at the expense of your own.
Yeah. This is what I've been doing. And then talking about how I
Okay, let's pause that. This is what I have been doing my entire life. Do you know how validating it is to have someone say, this is what you feel you should be doing. This is what you've been doing. This is why what you're doing is wrong. And to stop doing that. Therapists don't speak to you that way. Books don't know your situation. Podcasts, you can listen until endlessly. But to have someone lean in and say, you are behaving in this way because of your chart, but stop. Now we're gonna get into explaining astrology a little bit, North Node, South Node. I don't know what I would call him. What my guru Eric explained was South Node and North Node, and it explains that South Node is where your soul came in and North Node is where it wants to go. I, for my South Node, have a big emphasis on family and karma within family and relationship.
Is your 8th house, which is the ruling house of Scorpio. You were born with your moon, which is your emotional inner world. It's also the feminine archetype and the mother. Your Venus, which is about relationships. And then your Mars, which is the masculine archetype. The 8th house of Scorpio is all about sex, death, rebirth, trauma, all of the...
Where my moon is all about sex, love, death. Sounds like my entire life.
There's also something that shows up in your human design. It's a channel that you have that indicates that, yeah, you've been given like a life path that has been more difficult than others, but it's for a reason.
To hear someone say part of your human design blueprint is to have a more challenging life than others for a reason is so settling to me because it validates why I'm here with you, my sisters. It reinforces why for a decade I have wanted to make these heartfelt videos for you of my struggles, of my hardships, of my pain, to help you not suffer in the same capacity that I did. So to have this man say this to me, so grounding and settling into my body with that.
Okay.
I'm so thankful someone can say that there's proof of that.
You were born with this traditional human design. It's actually called the channel of struggle.
The intention of me receiving all these stumbling blocks and falling on my face is so that I can turn each situation into power to help inspire others.
There's so much here around depth and intimacy and healing. Like, I think you're there. I think you're close, okay? I really do.
Wait, I didn't catch this last time when we did the call. He thinks that I'm close, meaning close to the end. Because I'm not gonna lie, as I get back into my body these last few months and feeling great, I'm like constantly like, ooh, is there something more coming? Like, I don't want to live that way. It's been a few 1-2 punches back to back. To just catch that now that he said that I'm close. Oh, he went on to explain that because of the way my channel is built, that there is an intense depth to me that can be very overwhelming to the person that's not meant for me, which explains why I meet someone and in the beginning we have attraction and allure and interest, and then as I start to show myself and then things don't work out. It's not that I'm a bad dater, it's not that I'm always picking the wrong people, it's just my depth of the ocean. Like, a normal person is here, a deep person is here, I'm in the black abyss of the ocean. And I'm not saying that, my chart is saying that. We've talked about this before.
And the owner was so mad I didn't want to date him that he started yelling about me and wouldn't let me come in anymore. Like, it just, I know I trigger people. I know my gift is to bring people's shit to the surface when they interact with me. Strangers.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know that's my gift.
Yeah,
And
you're a
so-
very karmic mirror. You are a
so
very karmic mirror. Yeah.
I'm learning to giggle at it and be like, oh, you see what I'm doing to you.
People's energy and even their like psyche and subconscious is.
I can read your mind. I can, but really, like, I can.
Some of your greatest gifts in this lifetime, like, you know, your Pisces sun and your Pisces Mercury, like Pisces is the most spiritual sign of the zodiac. At its highest expression, its connection to God, to source, to the divine, to the universe, the subconscious, creativity, imagination. And then you also have it in the 7th house of Libra, which is all about the other, and it's about relationships. So again, that's another indication of you being this really powerful karmic mirror for people. That's also going to be all of these placements in the 8th house of Scorpio. You see the depths of people. Like, it's almost like you have X-ray vision.
I can almost X-ray scan someone and pinpoint what triggers and traumas they have, which for me is so reassuring because not reassuring, for me was so settling, not settling, I don't know what word I want to use. I don't know what word I want to use to describe this. To be able to explain why some people make me so uncomfortable and give me anxiety and overwhelm me. Like, a lot of spiritual teachers have explained to me, oh, you just need to like shield yourself. Like, you'll be fine if you shield yourself. No, I so intensely, like, I almost get into the person's body. Like, this is not the norm. Oh, I can feel your energy. Like, when you walk in a room and you can tell someone's looking at you energy. Like, no, I literally feel like that person puts themselves into my body and I'm thinking their thoughts. I'm feeling their heart rate. I'm feeling their anxiety. I'm feeling as though they are me. I am them. It's very, I never was able to explain to the detail that I just did until the second of rewatching this, because I've explained that I can like feel vibes and energy and blah, blah, blah. But like, no, when it's happening, I can physically feel that person. Like, when someone was explaining to me a few years ago how they became a sex worker and what their first day was on the job, I started immediately crying. I almost threw up. And I was like rapid fire saying, please stop, please stop. I physically can't listen, because I could visualize her under multiple people. I could feel like I reconnected to her experience with that man, those men. Like I can't, you can't, no, I don't wish to allow that into my space. And that's just not me feeling energy. That's me literally reliving what you experienced as trauma. It'll be helpful for me to be able to do that with the people that I wish to help and heal, like yourselves, my sisters.
Very triggering for people. And it's going to put you in situations of like power dynamics, fear, abuse, trauma. But ultimately,
power dynamics experiences daily. I get this situation where a security guard or a door person or a checkout person or a manager person, like, they just want to use their power on me. Even though I am just quietly like, hey, I don't know where to go. They are yelling, they are screaming. I still remember to this day, I went to the Washington, D.C. Native American Museum, and there was this big check-in counter, and there was a sign that says, go to the left to check in. So I go and there's nobody there. So I'm like just kind of looking around. I'm like, is this where I go? And the security person at the top of their lungs started yelling at me like I was the dumbest person on the planet, and had such an angry tone at me simply because I was following what the sign told me and there was no one over there. Like, I wasn't even speaking. I wasn't even saying anything. I was just like doing one of these, like the look around, and they verbally accosted me. A security guard. Like, I'm just trying to pay, and you're coming for me. Like, I just do that for people. In healing and helping people heal clients, I obviously would pause in that moment and work through with that person their emotional bandwidth. I'm not going to use my gifts on the security guard who just inappropriately yelled at me, but I am going to give peace, patience, love, and kindness to the security guard. Like, old Lisa would have come for them. Old Lisa, like, I'm not gonna lie, I did have to sit down. I did have to kind of like settle myself because I was really rattled and uncomfortable, because when you are a narcissistic snack, and you get yelled at when things aren't your fault, and you need to figure out how to fix the situation because it has become your job to resolve the narcissist's pain. When someone yells at me like that, oof, I'm just figuring this out right now. When someone yells at me like that, I'm immediately triggered into my younger self, and I regress, and I get panicked because I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna make them happy? How can I settle them down? Which is not my responsibility. Do you see how this was so healing? Like, even now, re-listening to this video is so helpful for me. And we will not have the similar chart, right? We won't have similar paths or whatever. Like, there's just too many planets and stars and alignments and vortexes and blah, blah, blah.
But you're here to trigger people into their own healing, into a greater sense of self-awareness and consciousness. So is that...
I am here to trigger people to push them into a different consciousness. Have I not been saying this for months? Like, the validation of my assumption, because it feels a little ego to come on this channel and say, I'm here to trigger people, and I know that's my journey. Like, it feels a little like, ooh, is that true? Like, you know, you don't want to like assume that you have this magic power, but like, this is what happens to me. So I have to assume. You have to put the evidence and the pieces together. And if A and B equals C, then you must be C. You must be C, because you are repeatedly causing people to get to C. So to hear someone say, this is my duty, amen. He asked me about what I'm doing for work, and I reflected back to when I was 14, left living at my mom and stepdad's house because little brother, the brother that hasn't passed away, was meddling and was making messes and blaming me, pretending that I hit him and fake crying so that I would not get dinner. I would be sent to my room. I would not get TV. I'd be punished. I'd get my radio taken away, which my stereo was like the most important thing to me. Music was the most important thing to me when I was growing up. And so they would take away my favorite things because this little brother was manipulating the situation and pretending because he didn't like me, because I was triggering his mirror, right? But again, I'm 7, 8, 9 years old, not understanding that's what I'm doing. I explained that at 14, I left living with this younger brother and my stepdad and my mom, and I moved in with my dad. And within days of moving in with him, he said, you work for me. I have a company, you're employed. If you want anything, you have to earn it. If you want to go to the movies, if you want to go to the mall, whatever you want, you have to earn it. Because I could work on the weekends, I worked after school every single day. Like, it was required that I work after school every day. I had a physical title, and I was someone's assistant since 14 years old. So it led the foundation of how I became Boss Babe Lisa, how I have this ingrained in me, how I've developed this work ethic. 17, I graduated high school early because I didn't connect to kids my age. I wasn't enjoying it. Funny, I finished high school on a Friday and I started college on a Monday. The amount of peace this is bringing to me and clarity about things that have been so confusing. I wish this for you. Like, I could cry. I wish this for you. I wish for you to sit down, spend a few $100s, right? Like, I'm sure you spend money on frivolous things like chips or soda or alcohol out with friends. Like, save some of that and do one of these. Get to know your soul at a depth and a way that you can, oh God, I got the tingles, that you can help it get healthy, help yourself get to the next level of life, help yourself get to your best self. Like I wish this for you so much, because for 3 decades of my life, I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to get here. I didn't know what everything that I had been brainwashed to think was so opposite of what I really should be living my life, so that I can enjoy this human experience, so that I can enjoy this vessel that I occupy, right? Like, who wants to go to Earth and just waste their chance? Who wants to come to this magical place of a video game and just settle and just suffer and just sit? Like, and I'm not judging if that's your preference, but I'm pretty confident you will have an awakening one day. You will have a rumbling one day. There will be a situation of trauma in your life that will activate this, and you will be looking for answers if you're not already. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. I'm not saying if you just meet with this person, your life will forever change in all aspects. But what I'm saying is start your journey. Start your process. Start your healing, please. You had those pains to grow and learn from. You had those experiences to take something from. Sure, it maybe wasn't nourishment, but I'm sure there are beautiful memories that you have where you did get nourishment, where you did get fed. Like, as a plant, you got water, you got fertilizer, you got pruned, you know, like you got the right lighting. Like sometimes people move the plant into the shade and it wants the sun and you can see it wilting. Don't wilt. Flourish with your best capabilities in your best environment. I love all of this so much. If you haven't already, please subscribe so that I can help you along this journey, so I can be there rooting for you, so I can share my nuggets to get you to where you want to go, to the life that you want to live. I'm Lisa. Thanks for joining me. This is so great. I'm so excited. Oh my God.
You depend on my weakness, satisfy